Hello, welcome to another episode of Shooting from the Horse's Mouth. Tonight, I'm going to talk about something that's actually quite recent, that's relevant to today's society. Sort of. I want to talk about TNA. Now, I don't do vids about TNA very often, and I seem to want to do shooters, you know, I don't like it, that seems to escape the TNA backlash. You see, most shooters that do a vid, if they bash TNA, the TNA fanboys come on and they bash the fuck out of them. How dare you diss TNA? Whereas if I do a vid about TNA, 9 times out of 10 it's just a, yep, you're fully right. So, I want to talk about hard justice and this whole ECW concept. I've come up with 5 reasons why I think that this pay-per-view is going to be an utter failure. And it's not just on one level, it's on various levels. So let's go through them, shall we? And I'd love to know your thoughts on this one. I really would. If you're watching this one, please comment on this one. Let me know what you think, because I think I'm onto a winner here. I think all 5 of these reasons are pretty damn fantastic, if I do say so myself. And I do. So, reason number one. I look at my tiny little piece of notepaper. So, reason number 1, which is this. One Night Stand from the WWE in 2005 ranks as one of my favourite pay-per-views, incidentally. That's beside the point. But it was the closest that has been to the original ECW since ECW shut down in early 2001. It was in the right venue at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It was the crowd was good. It had the right atmosphere. It was had the same sort of thing in the same building and the same crowd at One Night Stand 2006. But you know, that was more of a WWE show. I mean, I liked One Night Stand 2006. I bought the DVD. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, the main events especially I really liked. It's just there was it wasn't quite the same vibe as One Night Stand. One Night Stand 2005, like I say, it had the impact. It had all the right ingredients to make it a great show, and it had the right feeling, the right atmosphere, as the old ECW did. Yeah, the TNA, the Impact Arena, and the TNA fans, as much as they chant TNA for a suicide dive. I was watching an ECW show today as part of my 10 years ago series. I've been watching Heatwave 2000, yeah? Now, I watched a match, a 3-on-3 match. The ECW fans started chanting ECW when 3 guys did suicide planches over the top rope. That gets the ECW chant, not just the standard suicide dive. Big difference, you know. I don't think that in the Impact Zone this show will work, will have the atmosphere, because at the end of the day, one of the things that made ECW as great as it was the fans. The fans were an intrinsic part of the show, were they not? The TNA fans are not going to be able to provide that same atmosphere as the old ECW fans did. Oh yes. Number 2 is quite an obvious one, and that's simple as this. WWE own the ECW name, they own the rights to all the old ECW programming, they obviously own all the rights to the old ECW belt. How on earth are TNA going to promote this as an ECW event? Obviously having the ECW talent on the show is one thing, but actually, you know, they can't use any of the old ECW names. So they can't promote it as, I mean, what are they going to call it? One Last Dance, something like that, isn't it? You know, ECW Hard Justice doesn't work because they can't call it that. How are TNA going to promote this show as an ECW event when they physically and legally can't do that? So that, once again, I think that's going to make it fail on its arse. Number 3! While I'm being told that RVD versus Jerry Lynn is going to main event this show, and theoretically these two can still go, and I reckon that these two could put on a good match. If it's ECW guys versus TNA guys, there's literally no point in them having any of the TNA guys fucking lose the matches, because the TNA guys are the one under contract, so it doesn't achieve anything by having the TNA guys lose. Also, people like the Sandman, I'm not interested in seeing, I'm afraid. You know, I'm just not. Most of the ECW guys are just too past it now to be able to put on a decent match. That was one of the problems that WWE's version of ECW had. They had to bring in so many new talent because the ECW originals that they had under contract just couldn't go anymore. I think RVD versus Jerry Lynn should be a good match. Will it be as good as their match in Guilty as Charged 99? I don't think it'll even come close to it, if I'm honest. I want them to prove me wrong. I really do. But I think that is another one of the reasons why this one's going to fail. Number 4. ECW fans, and there was a lot of them, I reckon would feel pretty pissed off with WWE for what they turned ECW into. Do you really think that these same fans, the ones that are left, are going to watch this show after being burned by WWE? I'm sure these same fans, they know that TNA is a load of crap because of the writing. Yeah, do you reckon that these fans are going to tune into a TNA show to get burned one more time? I can't see it happening at all. I can't see this show getting a buy rate higher than any other normal TNA show. I really can't. ECW fans have been fobbed off way too many times. They must have looked at the ECW hardcore TV that WWE produced and just looked at it utter disgust, and then watching one and just turned it off, because I know that I did that. I watched ECW on WWE on Sci-Fi maybe 5 times in the 3 years that it was, 3 or 4 years that it was on television. I never watched it. I had no interest in it. I had no reason to watch it. It gave me no reason to care about it. Why should I care about the product that's going to be on TNA? Why? You tell me. But the most important one, let me tell you about this one. This is the most important reason why I think this show is just a bad idea. And let me tell you about this one. And basically it's this. Is that an ECW branded show, an extreme branded show, a hardcore branded show, does literally nothing to increase TNA's brand awareness, which at the end of the day, sure, is the one thing that they care about more than anything else. Getting the TNA name out there is surely #1 priority. And with this show, they're not going to be doing that. Surely. Those are 5 reasons that I've given. I think this show is going to fail. I want it to succeed, believe it or not, in a sort of weird, twisted way. I'd like them to go, look, this is what we can do. But at the same time, the thing about it is, it's got the novelty factor, hasn't it? And it's got the intrigue factor that makes you go, I might just watch that. I enjoyed Victory Road a lot more than I was expecting to, and I said when I did my review of that show, will it make me watch Hard Justice? And I said, yeah, it probably will. So I'm probably going to watch it. If there's more than likely a chance I'm going to watch this show, and I've got a feeling that more people will probably, I just feel, like I say, the novelty factor, the intrigue factor are going to make people watch this show over a standard TNA show. There's little things, like Ric Flair always said that he hated ECW. He could come out and just bash the fuck out of it. He really could. He could try and do what JBL did, and, One Night Stand. It's an instant heat thing. You'll get booed out of the building, but will he? Because these are probably not going to be ECW fans, are they going to be TNA fans? It's an intriguing one, it really is. And for that reason, like I say, I'm probably going to tune in, but I've got to do something. I just don't think this show's going to be very good. I really don't. And it's basically a straight up gauntlet thrown down challenge to TNA. TNA, prove me wrong. I'm Mark P. This has been Shooting from the Horse Mouth. I would really appreciate the comments. Let me know what you think about the ECW concept in TNA. Tasty bye.